updates. It feels like it's been so long since I last filmed because I was in Taiwan and Hong Kong for about 2.5 weeks doing a workshop and then just traveling. And then it normally takes me a little bit to get back into the groove of recording and editing videos. But yeah, I'm really excited today because I have a couple of home updates to show you. Hong Kong and Taiwan were amazing. I really love Taipei though. Taipei is probably one of my favorite places I've been to in Asia. One of my favorite cities for sure. And I definitely want to go back with Chris whenever the weather gets cooler, just to do more stuff, eat more good food. But yeah, we're here for home updates today. So I have a pretty good amount of things around the apartment that I want to share with you. The first one I am very excited about. Let me just show you instead of telling you. Okay, so I know we just recently set this up in the last home updates video, this IKEA cart. I've been talking about this a little bit. I really want an aquarium, and with aquariums, they can only be in certain spots because you need an outlet. They need to be away from the sun. They just have like these parameters that they need to be worked around, and this is the only spot where I could put an aquarium. In Hong Kong and Taiwan, I saw a pretty good amount of aquariums, and it just made me remember like how much I loved taking care of them and just watching them, watching the plants grow, watching my little critters in there. If you don't know, I was really into aquariums first before I got into plants. Aquarium plants were like my foray into getting serious about houseplants and terrariums and things like that. And also in college, if you didn't know, my last year I pretty much only did research and stuff on sustainable aquaculture and aquaponics. So yeah, I want to go back to my roots of having an aquarium. So yeah, we're gonna put an aquarium here. But yeah, I like this rolling cart, but I'm just gonna return it to IKEA. IKEA has this program called the As Is section where you can return products and get some credit back from IKEA, and then they sell it in this secondhand area of the store. If you didn't know, you can buy like secondhand IKEA products from IKEA. I did a sponsorship with them like 2 years ago to promote that service because a lot of people didn't know about it. I didn't know about it until I got the sponsorship with them. So yeah, we will be returning this cart back to IKEA. We have an aquarium stand and we have an aquarium, but I don't have anything else yet. I just wanted to get those pieces to then get some ideas about what I want to stock the aquarium with. So there aren't that many nice aquarium stand options out there. I decided to go with this black one. There's an online shop called Aquaforest Aquarium, and they sell pretty nice aquarium stands, and they have options in wood, in white, and then in black. I was thinking about getting the wood one, but since we have the wood wrap over here and then this wood, I felt like getting a different kind of wood in between these two would just be like too many contrasting wood pieces. And then I didn't get white because I've been trying to avoid white generally when I get home decor stuff now, just because I feel like the apartment needs a bit more contrast and more color. So I went with black, and I feel like the black works well because we already have the black console in the living room. We have black framing on the windows. We have black appliances in the kitchen, and then some black pots. So there's like black accents throughout the apartment, and I feel like it's just a great way to add contrast. Yeah, I already unboxed everything because I was too excited, but yeah, this is where the cabinet is going to go. I'm hoping once the aquarium is set up and we have plants in it and then we have an aquarium light, hopefully the aquarium will be more of the highlight than the black cabinet. And then here is the aquarium. So this is an ADA aquarium. I've always wanted an ADA aquarium. Like ever since I started fish keeping, this is my first time owning one. This is just a 10-gallon aquarium, so it's not too big, but it does still give me a decent amount of options with aquascaping and then what I want to put in it. And I'm talking about this and I'm not even sure really who's interested in aquariums, because I feel like we just have a mix of so many different people here who are into interiors or into houseplants or into, yeah, I mean mostly interiors and houseplants, but I'm assuming there is some crossover with aquariums too. I feel like right now it does stand out quite a bit, but like I said, I think once the aquarium is set up and then once we have a black pot for this plant, my friend Justin, he actually made this pot for it, but we got the dimensions wrong, so it's much too small for the pot. But isn't this beautiful? So I'm gonna use this for something else, and then he is in the process of making a larger black pot. for the brachychiton. I still need to figure out what I want to do with this aquarium. So there's two styles that I like. One is the nature style aquarium, and then there's the Dutch style aquarium. I think I'm leaning toward the nature style. I'm just not sure yet. I will take you along on the journey once I start to accumulate things for the aquarium, and I'll definitely show me making the aquarium in a video. And then in this area, this is the front entrance, so the door is hidden behind there. You can't really see it. But yeah, we have a full body mirror finally. So if you watched the last home updates, then you saw that we tried to bring this mirror back from IKEA, but it was too large, so it didn't fit in our car, so they had to ship it to us. We were originally kind of worried. I thought it would be too big for the space, but it actually fits it perfectly. You can see yourself. Well, you can see the camera, but it's sort of like you're seeing yourself. But yeah, this mirror is pretty nice. It's just the IKEA Hobbit mirror, so it's a very standard, basic looking mirror, but it's large and I feel like it gets the job done, and you can fit it in any kind of decor style. It also helps open up the hallway a lot. Before, when you're standing in the kitchen looking down, it just ends and there's nothing here, but now it opens it up and it reflects some light from the window that's across from it. I don't know if you've ever seen this. I actually got this a while ago, but I never showed it to you. It's some type of fabric art made of yarn, and I got it on Facebook Marketplace. I tried to ask the seller more information about it. This is an old piece, he said, but he was being kind of weird about specifics. I was like, oh, where did you purchase it? Do you know who the artist is? Things like that. But he didn't give me much to work with, and then was very short with me and kind of like ended the transaction very quickly. And this was only $35. And yeah, so it's just in our entryway. I wanted to put it originally like in the living space, but it's very dark because of the brown and then the black. So it looked just too dark in the living room and the bedroom. And then this runner rug is from Schoolhouse. Schoolhouse is one of my favorite places for rugs, and then also other type of fabric things like bedding. And I don't think you always really need a runner, but we wanted a runner here because it helps to suppress the sound of our footsteps, because you can hear the upstairs neighbors really easily in our apartment building. I wanted to make sure that in an area that we had a lot of foot traffic, because this is the laundry and then the bathroom's over here, and then it's also the entryway. I just wanted to make sure that we reduce the noise where possible. I also do think it looks nice. Like, all of these colors are some of my favorite colors. Greens, oranges, blues, and I think the pattern is kind of cute too. So it does have tassels, but these are the tassels that I'm okay with because they're not too long, so they don't get really messy looking. But I don't know how to get this corner down. Maybe I can steam it or something, or maybe I just roll it up. Oh, I guess that kind of worked. But yeah, this corner is just lifting. And then of course, we have a rug pad underneath. I cut the rug pad a little bit too short. Yeah. Oops. Really quickly, I'd like to talk about Climate Power, who I partnered with for this video. I'm working with Climate Power to spread awareness about climate-related issues in the US. And today we're talking about extreme weather disasters. We see these events happen through our phones or through our TV screens, and it's difficult to imagine it happening to you. And it's also difficult to understand the effects that it has on communities. The reality is wildfires, droughts, and floods are increasing in frequency and intensity, and we've seen it this past summer and over the past few years, and also where Chris and I lived in Altadena. After the fire, where our entire neighborhood was pretty much completely destroyed, FEMA was there to assist with post-disaster recovery efforts, such as more immediate needs like finding people housing. So they connected people who lost their homes to hotels to grant them temporary housing while they looked for more long-term options. FEMA also assists in post-disaster cleanup with the Army Corps of Engineers, and they help clear away all of the debris left over after a disaster. These are just some of the crucial services needed after disasters. Despite all of this, the Trump administration has proposed over $1 billion in cuts to disaster preparedness and disaster response programs. These cuts would eliminate training for first responders, reduce funding for emergency alert systems, and leave FEMA understaffed and underprepared. Disaster aid has also been used as a bargaining chip, favoring geographies with political allies. During the devastating LA wildfires, Trump said he would only allow disaster aid if voter ID laws were passed. This is a condition that was completely unrelated to recovery efforts and was entirely politically motivated. Extreme weather disasters can happen to any of us, and we need to make sure that we have the systems in place to respond effectively when they do. Our communities deserve non-politicized disaster assistance that puts people first. Okay, And now I want to share with you the things that I got while I was in Hong Kong and Taiwan. First, we'll start with plant related things and ceramics and then go on into home decor. The first two ceramics I got these two while I was in Hong Kong. This one I'm quite fond of because it looks like bamboo. I've never seen a pot that looks like this. Whenever I travel and buy things to bring back home, I always try and get things that I can't get in the United States because otherwise it's sort of feels like, why am I buying this if I can just get it back home? So normally that means I buy from local businesses and smaller artists when I can. And ever since the fire and moving into this place, it is quite a bit smaller. And just in general, I've really been thinking a lot more about the items that I accumulate and bring into my life. So before I buy anything, I really think like, do I love this? Because I like a lot of things, but I don't love a lot of things because I think sometimes I can be a little bit particular about what I love. So I think either, okay, does this serve a practical purpose? And if it does, then I don't really need to like love it because I'll be using it for something. But if it's purely decorative or aesthetic, then I really need to love it. And this I really love. Next is this pot. So this is also from the same place in Hong Kong, from Forest Round. I got this one because I have also never seen anything like it. And I like the pattern and the texture of it. The feel of this is very nice. And then the top, it's like, it kind of looks like a bag of cloth. Like it looks like a bag of coins or something that you kill a monster in a video game and then it drops loot. And then this is the bag of coins that you get out of it. Pretty small pots because there's not that much space in my luggage. And then next is this bowl. I got this bowl in Taiwan and I was thinking of using it for, what is it called? Like a pennywort, like a mini pennywort pond to have. I think that would be really cute and I've been seeing those more online. But I might just use this as a regular bowl to eat out of. I haven't decided yet. But yeah, doesn't it match the decor and the color palette of the apartment pretty well? And I love the texture of it. Do you see how it's not, I mean, it's glazed and smooth, but there's this texture on the bowl that gives a very nice tactile experience. Next is a Tribus Studio pot. So I went to Taiwan to do a workshop with Tribus Studio. So I did it with Jahao too. So there was a big expo, a big plant expo that was happening, and in their booth, we hosted a workshop. So I've talked about Tribus Studio before on my channel. They specialize in platycerium. Yeah, they do a lot of stuff with stainless steel. And so they gifted me this pot because they knew that I didn't have anything from them anymore. Right now I just have this on the storage console that's in the living room. I have this and some other pieces like this pedestal on the console because it's just a nice mix of different materials. I think this is like one of my favorite purchases. This is a plant stand. Well, I mean, you can use it for anything, but I'm gonna be using it as a plant stand. It's a very beautiful wood color and these are handmade in Taiwan. It reminds me of this Herman Miller stool. They have a stool that kind of looks like this. And yeah, it's nice, you know, with wood and then a ceramic on top. Looks pretty good. I don't have plants yet for these pots, but I'm sure I'll find some. I'll find some pretty soon. Oh, and then I got this wood block that I'm using as a saucer for this pot. The wood and the iron just go really well together. And yeah, so it's just like a coaster. Then next, let's talk about the home decor. So these are books. They're not necessarily decor, but this is like a poster book. I went to an art bookstore, so these weren't like traditional books that you read. They mostly have photographs or different artworks in it, and sometimes the book itself is the art. Like they're bound in very interesting ways. That was a super cool shop. So many like amazing books for conversation. Like if someone saw it, you could talk about the book, and really great coffee table books as well. So yeah, the first one I got is this. This is more of a, I don't even know if I would describe it as a book, but it's like a poster book. It's a collection of posters that you can use, or a collection of large pieces of paper that have prints on them. I don't know if they're necessarily considered posters, but you can hang them up See, so it's not bound, it's just folded into itself. Some very cool art. Just has some beautiful photography in it. But I actually mostly got it for the cover. That's kind of funny, I'm buying the book for the cover, but it is like an art book, so I feel like I won't be judged for that. I really loved this kind of blue. I would say blue is my favorite color. Oh, it's pretty dusty. I would say blue is my favorite color, and this kind of blue is my favorite kind of blue. It has some green in it. So this blue, and then also this blue. What is the name of this blue? Can someone tell me? My plan is to get one of those stands, like so I can stand it up like this. And then once we have the shelf above the desk, I'm gonna have it stand up like this. So that way we get some of this nice blue in the apartment, because I feel like the apartment is really lacking that cooler color. If you remember in my how I'm decorating my boring white box apartment, I talked about the color palette, and we pretty much have every color in the color palette that I made except for a blue. Like we don't have that much blue going on, so right now it does feel a bit too warm in here, I think. Like a blue in this kind of color scheme just looks amazing. I have saved some photos too of interiors that are like mostly neutral and warm but with a punch of blue, and something about that just does it for me. So I'm hoping that this will be a pretty inexpensive way to add some blue to the apartment. And then the next book I got is a book about bricks. So yeah, it's just a bunch of different little artworks of brickwork. So I really liked the texture of the pages, and I really liked the cover of this book too. Like the color of it is beautiful with the orange and then the blue on it. So I'm also kind of just like propping this up on a shelf. It also has the names of the different brick styles on the back. Look at this brick. If I ever had a house, I think I'd want to pull a brick from this. Wouldn't that be cool? Like imagine a brick fireplace made of this. Okay, so the next book is a magazine, and it is Casa Brutus. I just get a lot of inspiration from this line of magazines. This one's mostly homes and interiors. So yeah, I got this one, and then I also got this one. This is their plant edition. It has so much good stuff in here. I used to own this one before the fire, and it just gives me so much good inspiration about plant selection and then plant styling. If you're into houseplants, which you probably are, you can buy these on eBay. There's this edition. Look up Casa Brutus Indoor Green, and there's two of these, I believe, that are out. This one and then another one with an aquarium on the front. And I used to just go through those two magazines all the time because I would always like see something new that caught my eye. And then next we have these clocks. I'll talk about this one first. So this is a green one. So this is from a brand called Twemco in Hong Kong. They're a really old clock manufacturing brand or company. And yeah, they didn't have that many that were available in stock at the time. So this is a smaller green one that I originally bought for a gift to a friend, but I really like it. I'll probably still give it to them, but I do really like this one. And then the other one that I bought for the intention of keeping is this one. It's a white one. Yeah, like I said, I've been trying to stay away from white, but the colors that they have are very bold and bright. So they have a bright red, and then they had a bright orange left. And I didn't want to add any more red at the moment because we already have the red lamp. And that kind of red was a bit, I don't know, like Ronald McDonald red, because it's also plastic. Oh, did you see the number flip? Cool, right? And then for the orange, I do like orange, but that kind of orange with the plastic, I think gives a bit like modern space age. I didn't really want to go for that, so I just got the white one. But I do still think it's very cool, and it's nice to have a clock in the apartment. I will say they are kind of loud, like when they flip, and it was annoying at first. Like I heard every single flip, But now I'm a lot more used to it. But when I film, I do move it to the bedroom because it can be a little bit distracting. Wait, this one's gonna flip soon. Okay, wait for it to flip. Okay, so then flip in 2 seconds. 1, 2. Oh my God, I actually predicted it. But yeah, it's very cool, very satisfying. And then next is this little red horse. So this is a Swedish horse. It's a wood carved horse that's painted red. I believe it's a toy. I got it while I was in Hong Kong, funny enough. I went to a vintage store and I saw this, and I've always seen these every once in a while when I go on Pinterest. And I just thought it's very cute, and I love this kind of red. And I also like little figures, like little figurines, wood carved things. I see that a lot in Japanese interiors. Like they'll just have little figures lined up, and I think it's pretty cute. And my mom always says that you should have a horse in your house, like a horse painting or something like that. It's supposed to be some type of good luck. My mom is a bit superstitious. Yeah, I remember in high school I painted her horse and she was really happy, and she still has it at her work today. And then next we have some things that I plan to hang on the wall. So this is a fan. I got this when I was in Taiwan at a children's museum. It actually works very well as a fan, so I was using it in Taiwan. And look at the weaving work. It's really beautiful. And check out that little handle. This knot is pretty cute. And then a touch of blue. So yeah, I want to hang it from the wall somewhere. And then I also got this persimmon coaster. So yeah, it's supposed to be a coaster. I think this would look cute hung on a wall with a command strip. And then we have this that I found just walking on the street when I was in Hong Kong. I believe it's a strainer. So you could use this to strain rice, maybe noodles. I really like wall decor, things that you put on the wall that are unconventional. I'm gonna put some inspiration of things that I've seen online that I really like. Okay, so a lot of these use foraged objects and like things from nature. So you don't wanna go and, you know, like steal from public lands, but if you have a backyard or something, then you could create something like this that I think is very cool. So let's hang these up. I've already kind of tested out where I want to put them. First, I'm putting this little strainer up over here. Okay, yeah. I think it's pretty cute and natural and very inexpensive. It was only a couple, I think it was like less than $2. But yeah, add some natural materials to the interior and also some dimension because it comes off of the wall. And then next, I want to just put this persimmon here. I'm just using a regular command strip and just putting it on. I think it'll stick to cloth. It's pretty sticky. Straight. Yeah. Let's push it on. And then next, I'm gonna hang this fan over here. Oh, and then I also wanted to show you this. So this is a little Anthurium veitchii, and it's mounted on cork bark with sphagnum moss, even though it's obviously not a real plant. But it's a magnet, so I can put it on my fridge. And I think it's really cute. I wanted to show you this plant, the Dracaena marginata tricolor, because we have a new pot for it. We accidentally hit the top of this plant on the ceiling when we were repotting it. So the top of the plant got kind of messed up, but it's regrowing. Everything is regrowing, and it's gonna look good in like, give it like two or 3 months. Let's talk about the pot. So I got this pot from a local LA ceramicist named Elise. I'll put her Instagram up. And yeah, I've been following her for a really long time, and she specializes in using a red clay mostly, but I wanted something glazed for this plant. And a while back I saw these dishes that she made, and I really liked the dishes. They had this pattern on it. It's like a diamond pattern with flowers in it. There was a blue one, and then there was like a more pinky green one. I messaged her, I reached out, and I was asking if she could make a pot using that pattern. And she said that she'd actually been planning on doing it, but she just never got around to it. So it was the perfect opportunity. I saw the vision from the start because she said that she made those dishes to practice the pattern to eventually put on a pot. So yeah, I'm happy that I got the first pot with this pattern on it. I thought this would look really good in this room because I thought, you know, everything comes back to this pillow. But yeah, the diamond pattern I thought would work well with the pillow, and the colors also look nice together. I thought this brown would come out a lot more green because in her previous works, using that pattern, it looked more green, but I don't know. Glaze and stuff like that is never predictable, so it came out more brown. But yeah, I really don't mind. I think it looks great. I do sometimes worry though, like this is always in the back of my head every time I'm decorating is it giving sad beige baby? Because I don't know if you know about this account. I followed them a long time ago. It was this lady on TikTok that would stitch parents' TikToks of like their children rooms and stuff. So the children rooms would be like lifeless and colorless and all white and beige. So sometimes I'm like, am I giving sad beige baby? Because my color palette does tend to lean more neutral. Especially nowadays, I feel like vibrant and deep colors and like saturated colors are really making a comeback. And so more and more I'm like, am I sad beige baby? Am I sad beige baby? I think I'm not. But I do think I need to add a little bit more blue. Yeah, just thoughts that I have. I'm always cautious of being a sad beige baby. But yeah, isn't that pot great? If you live in Los Angeles, you can probably DM her and ask if she's doing commissions right now. I think she might also ship, maybe she ships smaller pieces too. Look at Winnie. She's been sleeping here this whole time while I've been filming. And then Theo, I don't think Theo's made an appearance in this video. Theo is sleeping with Chris right now because Chris is reading in the room. And also check out this tree. It grew so much. One of my friends, he was here when it was just a stick, and then he just came over like 2 days ago, and he was like, wow, it actually looks great. Like it's actually a real plant now. And I kind of forgot that it used to be completely barren. I'm really surprised at how well it's grown, getting not that much light. Because there is this window here, but the light doesn't really hit the leaves directly because it's so tall. So yeah, I'm very impressed by this plant. It's a lot more low light tolerant than I expected. And then what other updates do I have for you? Oh, I'm thinking of also maybe getting a terrarium, like a little terrarium. I think I want to make one because there are some like small plants like carnivorous plants, and then maybe some begonias that I want to grow. I think that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.